Hi everybody, it's a very windy Sunday afternoon, and I was debating about going shooting, but I have been going quite a lot lately. I haven't put any videos up, but I have got some footage to edit and sort out and then pull up. But I don't know what day it is. I'll put it on the screen. It's Saturday, and we're about to go into lockdown again this week. I was notified by the gun club that Wednesday will be the last time we can use the place for at least a month. So the other day while I was out shooting, I take my PCP, my MPO2 that's featured on my channel, and then I always take my weihrauch. Can't see it very well here, but it's worked perfect since I've had it. And the guy, I believe his name is Dell, if my memory serves me correct, when I bought it from him, he said it hadn't had that many pellets through it, and he'd owned the gun for a couple of years. It's the nickel plated one, HW97. You'll have a different view of it in a moment when I take the camera down. It's worked fine, got no complaints with it. And then about 10 days ago while I was shooting, when I went to cock the underlever, went to do that, it was sort of graunchy, gritty, slightly crunchy is the only way I can explain it. So I was quite worried that the spring was broken or there was something badly wrong with it. It still shot fine, still went with a good bang and still shot fine. But so my good old friend Dan there, a lad that I've known since he was a young kid, since he was about 5 years of age, he'll be coming round this afternoon to help. When I say help me, I need a gas canister, and I ain't got time to order one offline because I've got all the stuff to do the job, which I'll show you in a moment. But yeah, he said he's got a gas canister, so he's gone shooting. I could have gone with him. I normally go shooting with him, but I didn't fancy it today. It's a horrible day. So the plan of action, I'll get onto the gas cylinder in a moment, why I might need one. So to continue the story, it was a bit graunchy, a little bit gritty, however, crunchy, however you could describe it. Excuse my untidy man cave. And I was a bit worried. I thought, oh, I hope the spring ain't broke or there's something badly wrong with it. But I was shooting with Dan, and he had a tin of this gun oil stuff. I'm not sure what it was, but it did say gun oil on it. And we sprayed some down the breech, down this area, a little bit. I don't mean we went mad spraying it, but he sprayed a bit down there, and I put a couple of little oil drops down there, and then continued to cock it frantically, you know, forwards and backwards with the lever, just short of cocking the gun, and the grittiness feeling went, and it felt quite smooth again. The first shot did a little tiny puff of smoke for, I don't know, possibly the first 2 or 3 shots. It dieselled a little bit, and it's been working fine ever since. We chronoed it, and it was hovering about 11.1 average on the chrono with an 8.44 pellet. So I could have left it at that and sort of forgot about it, but at the time I said to the missus, "Oh, do me a favour and order one of these tuning," well, they call it a tuning kit, but it's sort of a drop-in kit. You haven't highly tuned the gun by fitting one in. So we ordered this. It cost me, it was about 68, 69 English pounds delivered to my door, and it came blooming fast. It came the next day. So there we have it. That's what you get for your 69 quid. A spring, some of this, I'll call it grease, but they reckon it's called bomb slide. It's a bit of a bad name for some grease, isn't it? But it's quite thick grease apparently, almost like a paste. The TBT bomb slide comes with your instructions there, one page of instructions. So along the way I bought all the parts that I thought I would need. I've got some punches there. They're not the correct ones because they're tapered, which I didn't realise when I ordered them as normal. But to knock the pins out of the trigger and etc, various parts. Little sticker there to garnish your gun with, somewhere hidden underneath where nobody can see it. So I thought the best thing I could do in these circumstances possibly is take the gun to pieces. The least thing I could do without buying this kit is to take the gun to pieces, dry everything, get the oil off, because you're not really supposed to put oil in, it's not a good idea, and re-grease everything. So I did buy some grease. I've got some in the home, a little tin of, I can't pronounce the word, what's it called, this grease? It's got a funny name, this grease has. Whatever, you know what I mean, I should imagine. If I can find where it is, I'll put it up on the screen. Anyway, you get this grease that they use on spring guns. I bought a tin of that. I bought some sandpaper so I can do the piston. Do it with medium and then fine. And then if I can find my Sovo water sol, I know I've got some around somewhere, and I can really polish the piston as well while I'm at it. So that's the plan of action. However, when I watched, I don't know what his surname is, Nick, who I don't know if he makes these but where this comes from, the guy, I believe his name's Nick, he does lots of videos showing you different tips and hints on how to fit the kit. And he says you may notice in one of his videos, he does say you may notice that this spring included in your box there is a lot larger than the one you've taken out your gun. And that's because they don't have different size springs knocking around everywhere, because they supply different countries where there's different laws regarding foot-pounds of energy. So if I just stick this in there, clean everything up, re-grease everything and stick this in there, the gun might be doing 20 foot-pounds or something ridiculous. So obviously I'll be breaking the law. So I may have to cut the spring, heat it up and bend it down, which is where the gas cylinder would come in. I haven't got one, so sent my mate there a message saying I can't do it today because I haven't got a gas cylinder. I've got to buy one, you know, blow torch is it, whatever you call them, I don't know. But he says, oh, I've got one. Oh, when I've been shooting, I'll pop round. So I thought I'll start before he gets here. I'll start to save some time, get all the stuff together, take it to pieces, do as much as I can till he gets here, and if I can get the spring in the gun, tighten everything up, shoot it a few times through my crony. If it's over, then it's a matter of I don't know, taking the coil off, redressing the spring, you know, make sure there's no sharp edges with a file, which I haven't found yet. I must have one somewhere, around file, and we'll see how it goes. But I won't do a video of taking all the gun to pieces, because there is some excellent videos on YouTube that I've been looking at myself. My camera doesn't last that long, my battery on my camera doesn't last that long doesn't last that long before it runs out. I could do with buying another battery for this video camera I'm using. So rather than doing a cock-up video, when I've taken the stock off, I've took the trigger off, when I've undone the block at the back, the trigger block, I don't know if you can see the joint, the smooth joint in there. When I've undone that and the spring's ready to come out, I will start videoing again to show you what mess it looks like. But I should imagine it will be a bit nasty, because there's some oil there, look, what seeps through from what we sprayed in. So yeah, I figure the least thing I could do is take it to bits, clean it, re-grease it and put it back together. And then I might be able to use the same spring what's in it. As I say, it's doing around the a good sort of power. And then I don't know what spring guides will be in it, if it's standard and never been touched before. But putting these guides in, they look like a kind of plastic. I don't know what they actually are, what material that is. Is it nylon? I'm not sure. But with that spring guide on the top hat there, it may make the firing cycle smoother or less recoil, so they claim. But I was unsure what this part was, and after doing a bit of research online, it turns out it's an extension for the piston, and then you put the piston seal on top of that, and that short strokes the gun, so its firing cycle is shorter. But I won't be doing that. I watched somebody else's video who's done it, and he's not a fan of it. So for that reason, he's done it to a couple of his guns, and he says, you know, it wasn't that beneficial to do. So for all the hassle of putting this on the gun, I won't bother. So we'll see where we are in a moment in this video, and I'll get to work finding all my tools and spanners and bits and bobs I need and start taking it to pieces.
So here's the piston that I took out, and you can see rust on one of the washers, or weights as they call them. and that's what created the grovelly feeling when you cock the gun. Particles of rust in the compression chamber. But that's the state of it. I would say it's never been taken to pieces since the gun was new. I polished it, rubbed it down with sandpaper, then finer stuff. While Dan held the drill, I got the sandpaper on it. A two-man job it was. Didn't get it to a high mirror finish, but did get it nice and fairly shiny. But there was a little tiny bit of pitting left in, but I decided that was a good thing to retain the grease. It all came to get apart pretty good, apart from the trigger action at the back. I had to whack it in the slot with a spanner quite a few times, about 6 times, till it came open to release the spring. But there's the compression tube, and there's the new spring ready to go in, and the old spring further up the table there behind the drill. There was quite a bit of preload on it as well, to be quite honest. But yeah, Dan had to put his full weight on the gun and compress it. So there's the chrony figures, not very consistent at the moment, but I'll chronate it again when it's had a couple of 100 shots through it. But we better give it the pellet test, so I'll take it over to Dan to do that.
I'm in the balancing of a pellet to see if the recoil will blow it off, because yesterday at the shooting club it blew 2 off, didn't it, Dan? You'll have to hold the gun fairly level, won't you? It'll be interesting. Right, hang on, I'll zoom in on the pellet. Do a countdown.
1, 2, 3.
Stayed on there. Hey,
That's impressive.
I didn't think that was going to happen. Right, do it again. See if we can get 2 in a row. Hang on, let's do a countdown. But you keep the gun still after you fire it this time, Dan.
1.
3, 2, 1. Yep, it's passed the test. It's passed the recoil test, so it's definitely better in recoil than what it was before the spring went in. And just to show you, this is the old spring. Nothing wrong with it, but this definitely the original, having that metal, whatever it's called. What's that called? It's a guide, isn't it? Yeah. However, the guide is quite loose in it. And there was some metal filings in the bottom of the tube where the what's it called? It's the compression tube.
Piston.
No, the compression tube,
yeah.
Was it inside the compression tube?
Yeah.
Yeah, where the piston slides inside, I can't show you that because that's inside the gun. It had, where the weights were, basically, I think what's happened is, these weights what were in the bottom of the piston, what I took out there, one of them was rusty or going rusty because it was dry, and it caused a few fragments, and that would explain where the gritty feeling was coming from when you cocked the gun. So the new spring's in. Could have used the old one. That's still serviceable. There's nothing wrong with it. But I had the idea that it was going to be well over power because of the length. The length of this new spring was about, what was it? About 1 inch.
Yeah, but not taking away the washers.
Yeah. So, but it's not. It's bang on. Averaging 11.5. So. Really happy with that. I'll do some target shooting with it when this wind's gone. It's horrendous out there at the moment, absolutely horrendous winds. But yeah, job well done. Right, I'm going to have a few shots with the HW97. I've put the scope on. It's now Tuesday the 3rd of November and the wind seems to have calmed. I'm just going to shoot the first lot of targets I've ever shot with this gun. Not very far, my garden, 16 yards, it's all I can do at the moment, unfortunately. And when I get back from work at night time it's dark, so I can't even go to my daughter's house, and she's got a very good garden in lengthwise, you know, for shooting guns. But there you go. So I'm going to have my first ever shots with this gun, see how it groups. I'm not going to adjust the scope, so if it's slightly not near the bullseye, I'm not bothered. I'm more interested how it groups and how it shoots and its shot cycle. So here goes. Target's up in the garden. It looks like a guy put some more tape on it because it's still got a bit of a breeze going. There it is. I shall shoot 5 shots into the corners and the centre. The wind seems to have picked up, but I'm going to start me 5 shots in each little red circle, and obviously 5 shots into the bull, into the centre. Yeah, it'll be interesting to shoot this and see what it performs like with its new spring and guides. And top left first shot. Now that's about the 18th shot that it's ever had since the new spring has gone in. And it's the first shot I've ever had at a target. Here we go, number 2. I've only roughly zeroed the sight, I haven't fine-tuned it, and these are JSB 844 grain pellets. Number 4, top left. Last shot, top left. There's 5 there. Top right, 5 shots, first shot. I am rushing a little bit. I've got to go to work. Ha. Top right, second shot. Top right, third shot. Top right, fourth shot. Top right, fifth shot. Centre bull. The white bullseye in the centre. The first shot. Second shot, bull. Third shot, bullseye. Fourth shot. Last shot. Fifth and last shot, bullseye in the centre. Bottom left. First shot. Getting blinded here by the light. Second shot, bottom left. Third shot, bottom left. Fourth shot, bottom left. Last shot, bottom left. Bottom right, bullseye, first shot. Quite cold today, it's 9 degrees at the moment. Second shot, bottom right. Third shot, bottom right. Fourth shot, bottom right. And the very last shot coming up. Bottom right, last shot. There it is. 25 shots. Let's take it down and see what we think. So as expected, I think I haven't tested them all yet, but not bad grouping. And slowly after 30 shots I'm getting more used to the firing cycle because it's a lot quicker now. But I'll have to weigh the weights that I took out the front end of the piston because they're quite heavy little, well they look like big washers really, but so that means the piston will fly forward quicker in the compression tube in the cylinder. So the lock time is quicker and the firing cycle is much quicker, and it's more like a clap. It never did twang. The gun never ever suffered with spring clang or anything nasty before I put this new spring and guides in, the TBT dropping kit, but it did have more recoil. It's got less recoil now, but when the gun shoots it's more like somebody's just clapped. Totally different sound, but I've got to get used to it. But there you go anyway. 5p comfortably, but let's be honest, we would expect it at that range, 16 yards. It's not a great deal. But it's all I've got at the moment because we're going into lockdown again and the shooting club's closing, so I can't yeah. And I don't normally use JSBs anymore. I use air arms, Diablo Fields, I've run out of AA pellets. Excuse me, so I've got to use JSPs is all I've got. So the gun might actually prefer the air arms, or even another pellet it might group tighter, but that's not bad. I've got to slightly readjust the sights, as you can see. I've got to go up and to the right, but and there you have it. So thanks for watching the video as normal. Any comments I'll try and answer, and you take care everybody, and we'll catch you soon. Bye for now.